Hey everybody, welcome to the Ridgway world. I'm Jeff and that's
Terry.
Sickly Nasally Terry.
Yeah.
So I was just checking out the Stars and Stripes and it's looking like we need a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, got some rips and tears in it. Bad winter. Bad winter all around. Like a stinking head cold from hell from what, January 20th I think I had it. And then it goes away, comes back, and as you can tell I'm kind of nasally.
And you went to the doctor?
Went to the doctor, which usually I don't. I just let it go, and you know they said, in 3 or 4 weeks you'll feel better. And I said 3 or 4 weeks, and they said, yeah, that's the norm of the head colds right now. For some reason, there's a new strain that just goes around. But I think I'm like in 6 weeks now. Isn't it 5.5, 6 weeks?
5.5, I guess. It's been a very eventful week.
Yeah, very eventful.
Yes. And as everybody can see from the thumbnail, you want to lift that hat up a little bit?
It's a little bit better today. So it's not as red. It's still swollen, still sore.
So how about you walk us through this whole mess
Walk you through my stupidity
of
and
how this all started. I mean, I know this ongoing virus, cold virus.
Yeah, it's
has been had you
taken effect of my life.
Yeah, but like just tell like everybody so everybody knows. I mean,
yeah,
these simple things can turn out to be quite dangerous.
And I me as being hard-headed, which I am, and my family knows that is, but it was just I thought it's just a simple head cold, and what it was is after a few weeks I started getting this pain radiating down the back of my head over the mastoid, and then it was swollen. So hence that is what triggered the doctor's appointment this week. And when I went there, he goes and he checked it. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's swollen." He says, "You got a gland back there." He goes, "Do you have anything on your head, like an abrasion or psoriasis?" Which I didn't have the psoriasis. Didn't think anything of it. But I said, "What about this?" And I flipped up my hairline in my hat, and there was a mark there. And he goes, "Well, that's probably what's causing that." So, in an investigative work of a doctor, it came up with a couple different things it could have been. It could have been shingles, maybe, or it could have been an infection. So, we went from there.
So there's some things that happened that were not really fully disclosed to the doctor.
Yes.
So, just going on, like you want to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So one of the things that I didn't disclose right away was that I had went and did some trimming down the driveway, and we, on that first snowstorm we had all the ice. There was a lot of brush and branches that had fallen across the driveway, but I had pushed them out with the tractor. But there's a lot of old poison ivy along the side here, so I had my pole saw out, trusty pole saw. Everybody should have one. And I was cutting branches. Well, one of the branches had vines hooked to it. So when I cut it, it pulled back and hit me in the head, knocked my hat off. Didn't cause an abrasion or anything, or a cut, but it actually probably had poison ivy on it. So,
Which you're very allergic to.
Very, extremely allergic. And usually when I get it bad. So, yeah, so in part, I have all the stuff I had cut. If you want to pan out here, see a lot of these stuff are all cut back, and then on this side I cut a lot of this back. They're all hanging down. Okay. And a lot of those have poison ivy on it. But for people that don't understand that is, even though you don't see the leaves in the winter, poison ivy is still active in the vine. So when you cut into it with a chainsaw or a pole saw, all that sawdust is coming off, has that oil, and it gets you all over the place. So
your initial thought was, and this was Tuesday, you went to see the doctor Tuesday morning. Right. Your initial thought was that you had poison ivy.
Right.
But you were a little bit confused as to why your mastoid bone was painful and sore.
Sounds prehistoric, but yeah, it's actual bone on your head.
Right. And so his conclusion was it could be shingles, but he was leaning more towards poison ivy.
Right.
And he just sent you home.
Yes.
Didn't swab you or anything. No blood tests, no nothing.
No.
Right.
Just basically.
So now, what else did you do that day? That same day?
Well, that same day is I, did something. Yeah. So while we're transitioning from one spot to the other, I'd like to take a look at this thing. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but all these different things.
All those holes?
Yeah, I think it's all from woodpeckers getting bugs and stuff out of the tree. I think. If somebody in the may in the comments knows something different that may know what's going on.
That's interesting that it's all like in this area right here and not further up. Oh yes, it is.
Oh yeah, it's all the way up.
It is further up.
I don't see it all the way up, but I mean right there.
Well, I hope it doesn't damage the tree.
I know, because we already lost 2 big branches in that winter storm out here.
And that's all the snow that's left.
Yeah, and
Thank
part
God.
of my grass from over there came from over there to here. So, since I pushed it all back. So the other things that happened that day was, since it was a decent day out, I uncovered both cars and started them both up and let them run for a while. But in the GTO, there's a hood pin. If you can see that, this jagged little thing right here. So sometimes when you go in, boom, it's right.
Oh.
So
did you not have a hat on?
No, I had a hat on, knocks the hat off. That's like a safety thing when your hat gets knocked off. But I do remember hitting myself in the forehead with this thing.
On this thing,
That
which
pin.
is...
Now the Firebird doesn't have one, but
Is this rusty?
No, are you kidding me? 60 years old? Oh, happy birthday, GTO, you're 60 years old. No, it shouldn't be. It's pretty good shape. But again, there could be something on it that causes it. I don't know.
Well, you have had your tetanus shot because you
Yeah.
had to get one in 24.
Right.
So you didn't even think about it when you hit it. It's not like you were bleeding or anything.
No, and if I was, it was minimal. That's why you got sleeves. You got
Right. So
that's it.
you had 2 things happen.
Yes.
Right. And 3 really, because you have a virus that you're fighting.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So after Tuesday, what happens?
After Tuesday, it progressively started getting worse. I started getting, this swelling really a lot down towards my eyes, and the sore became open and pustulous. So it still could have been poison ivy. It still could have been shingles, or as we're finding out, it's more so on the infection side now. So as my family is very persuasive, Jesse is very persuasive if anybody didn't know that little thing about him. And when he hooks his mother into it, they tag team.
Excuse
but
me.
I
I had been trying to be a voice of concern
And reason.
for days.
I know you
and
had.
you didn't really put much into what I was saying until Jesse started talking to you and telling you what could happen if it was shingles.
If it was shingles, right.
And well, even that, it being a bacterial infection,
Right.
That's very, very dangerous. It's life threatening.
Right.
Sepsis could have,
I agree now, but I mean, back then, being a hard-headed person that I am, and I've always been that way, I just keep moving on to the next thing and not have to worry about it so much.
Yeah.
But
So what happened?
As persuasive both of them are, they were telling me I should call the doctor. And after a little while of, fighting it, I did call the doctor. So my family doctor wasn't in, so I had another doctor that they said to come immediately because I explained what was going on, the heat of this, the traveling of it and everything. And Jesse was very adamant, I should be on an antiviral if it's shingles because it does travel into your eyes. And my lovely wife the same way. So I said, okay, to shut him up, I called the doctor, got my appointment, and ran right over there. So during that visit, this area was swabbed, and the concerns is blood, a possible blood infection, blood poisoning, sepsis, all that because of the way it was.
Because the way it looks.
The way it looked and the way it was moving. And again, I should have done this. I should have been smarter about it, but I wasn't. But either way, I did.
So we still don't know the shingles results yet.
Waiting for the swabbing, yes.
Yeah, we're not sure.
So-
I mean, you did see a few new bumps today.
Yes, today.
But the doctor also told you that it wasn't typical of shingles because shingles is more on one side or the other, and yours is centrally located.
Dead center, almost to the point of where I whacked it on the car hook or something hit me directly in the forehead. It's not sided as the doctor and Terry just said. So, yeah. So all in all, the outcome was that, hey, let's put him on an antiviral just in case it's shingles, but we also wanted to put him on him meaning me, put me on an antibiotic for the infection. So as of today, I'm 24 hours into antibiotics and antivirals. Does it feel better? Nah, not too much, but it's a little bit. It's dried up a little
itching.
bit. It's itching the heck
And you
out
got
of
a
me.
few more bumps.
Right. So I'm putting clear calamine lotion on it just to try to take it, dry it, and absorb it. But my mastoid area is a little bit better, but that's still a little sore to the touch. But the doctor assured me that once you get this taken care of, that'll slowly go
Yeah, and I
away.
never knew there was a gland on the outside of that bone.
Never know it either.
Yeah,
Things you learn.
Yeah,
How many bones are in the human body?
206.
Woo, very good. Figured I'd throw that out there. So, yeah, moving on to the next stage.
Hi, Luna Tuna. You got an itch? He's a good girl. He's a good girl.
So these are the medication they give you as an antiviral. Look at the size of that horse pill. It's almost like a suppository.
Yes.
And maybe it is a suppository, but I've been taking it orally. And this is something called a Valtrex. And I guess this covers a bunch of different things. So, and the other one...
And you have to take that three times
a day. Has a lot of side effects too. And here's the other one, the antibiotic. That's not too bad. That looks very shiny, so it slides down quickly.
And you
So
have
that's
to take
twice a day.
Yeah.
So this is what you do when you're hard-headed and don't take care of things immediately. So what I'm here to say is, everybody wants to be like me, but don't be like me. Think about it. Do what's right for you and your family and your body. Have things checked out by your family doctor.
Right. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
That's a good way to end that.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And will it change my thought process of being hard-headed? Probably not.
No, and I'll still harp on you, and then you
Yeah.
get mad at me. And
I don't get mad. I just
yes,
walk
you
away.
do. You get a little attitude. You're very stubborn.
Yeah. So, but either way, I think we're on the road to recovery, hopefully, and I hope everybody else is healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2026. So, hey, everybody have a great day and a good life.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding, Jeff? What are you doing? I don't understand you. You're trying to heal a head injury. You have no protection besides that baseball hat. This is what happened in the first place.
It's been protecting me for 63 years. So.
Jeffrey,
What?
does it have to be done? Let's get this taken care of first, please.
Yeah, because I was going to that one next. But I'm done.
That's it. I'm buying you a hard hat.
I won't wear it.
What the heck? What am I going to do? He doesn't listen. God, he scares me.